Computer? Perfect. So, one, I'm glad you're all here. You're all here on time. That makes it awesome because I'm pending a storm, which Lord only knows if I'll lose internet. And I have one child who's 4 who's on the couch by himself. So he could quite possibly destroy my whole house in this time that we are recording. But we're here for our Thursday amazing team training and Q&A. And today we are going to be talking about freedom and guilt. But before we get there, there are just a couple of housekeeping things. Super Weekend is this weekend. So who's attending one or a virtual one or has no idea what I'm talking about? Yes, Becky's attending one. We don't have one in Jacksonville. And I know that just means I need to start one, but I need to know that there's not one like a week in advance because I just realized that. So anyone doing a virtual one or are you guys just waiting for the information to be loaded? Nothing, information loaded? Yes. I will say we used to host them virtually for the team because there wasn't a lot close to us. And I think we're going to have to do something like that because even though you're like separate, coming together on a Zoom chat's actually really fun for something like that. So, all right, Super Weekends this weekend. Then we have Vanilla Chai launching on the 16th. Who's super excited for that? Yay! I feel like I'm just here by myself. It's really weird just with everyone muted, but I get it. Awesome. So I'm excited for that. I know my sons are excited for that. They love vanilla anything, so that's really cool. That launches on the 16th, and I think that's it for housekeeping, except we are going to start this week. You know, The Big Leap. Christy has been talking about this book, raving about it. She's listened to it. She's reading it. She's highlighting it. So I used to, with Mind Body Soldier, host a monthly book club, and I rotate whether it's a Bible study or a leadership book or whatever it is. And so Chelsea and I are getting together and we are going to host a book club and do this together. The goal is to finish books within 4 weeks, and it's just another form of accountability. You don't have to do it if you're like, you know what, I'm doing my own thing. But we will be hosting that. If you want to get into that, go ahead. We put a post on the page, but I'll post after as well and let you guys know. But it's really cool because we're going to have meetings right before this on Thursday. So at 1 o'clock, we're going to have our meeting to just go over our biggest takeaways. And then we'll roll into this call. I figured that would be the best way to do it. If you cannot do both, we get it. If you can come to no calls, we get it. It's just a really cool way to stay on top of your personal development. All right, let's see. Yes, Bobby Joe. There we go. This is really, man, I feel like I'm very professional because I have to let you guys in. Like I have to admit people. I don't know if you guys have been on this side, like Christy's seat. Yeah, like when she's actually, I'm recording for her. She's not here. She's with a friend. I believe they're in the wilderness. Not like the Jesus wilderness, but hiking or something. So she will not be joining, so you'll be with me. And like I said, this will be short, sweet, but I'm really excited because this topic is about freedom and guilt. So if you were on with me last week, you heard a little bit of my story. I've been coaching in 3 days. It will be my 8-year coach anniversary. And I am so excited about that. Am I anywhere where I thought I was going to be in this business? No, guys, because I was going to be a 15-star in 1 year. In 1 year, I was going to do it and I was going to be so good at it. And I made diamond in 88 days and I was so excited. So a 15-star was going to be nothing. And then here I am. I'm a 4-star in my first business center, a diamond in my second, and a diamond in my husband's. And I'm like, that's really funny. However, I still want to talk about that because so many people along the way, you guys, have quit. They've quit because they didn't make diamond. They quit because they were only a 1-star, a 2-star, a 3-star, a 4-star. Like they quit because of an accolade that really doesn't mean anything. Because when you get there, you're like, okay. Like I got to 4-star and I was so excited and I let myself have my day of excitement. And then I was like, there's no parade. Like there's nobody celebrating this like with me. It's over. Like I had a 1-day thing. And not saying that I didn't want to celebrate that milestone. However, once I stepped back and looked at it, I was like, that's really amazing. I am making a business achievement, but my self-worth cannot be wrapped up in that because I will walk away from a business that I absolutely love based off of a rank or walking across a stage when that's amazing, you guys. I mean, that's all I wanted to do. I was like, I want to walk across that stage. It's exhilarating. It's incredible. And I am not discounting that by any way. And I still want to walk across the stage. I want to be a legacy club member. I still want to be a 15-star. I have not changed my dreams or my goals. They're still there. However, the biggest difference between us and the people that walked away is we're not quitters. We're not quitters just because we didn't reach a goal that we thought we were supposed to reach in a certain amount of time. We didn't give up. And this is hard. We have Lisa, she's brand new coach, and she's like, I just don't want to fail at this. Sorry, Lisa, I got to call you out because it was such a good moment for me when she said this. And I was like, how are you failing? Lisa's showing up every day with her daughter, doing a workout every day with her daughter. This was not a part of their lifestyle before. She's changing the legacy of her family, the dynamics of her family. She's creating freedom for her daughter from the chains of saying, this is what you're supposed to look like. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you need to have that 9 to 5. No, and Lisa homeschools on top of that. So she is changing, giving freedom, mental freedom to her daughter. So I just want to clarify that for you guys. I'm not here talking about freedom, saying, look how amazing I am with my 15-star freedom. No, I'm talking about the freedom to live your life. This is Liam, by the way. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Hi. Can't pretend he's not there. He's always there. To live your life and have your business too. So to do that, how do you get freedom? 1, surrender. Like, write this down. Write down the word surrender. How do you get freedom? You surrender. Surrender your timeline. Surrender your goals. Surrender control. No, not right now. Surrender everything. Because once you learn to surrender and give up control, and I mean, I'm talking about perfectionism. I'm talking about controlling everything to do with your significant other, with your house, with your animals, with your children. Just surrender everything, because once you learn to surrender is when you will stop beating yourself up about not achieving those accolades that really you set for yourself once you came into this business. But you came into this business with a dream and a goal and something that you knew was missing. That's why you came into this business. There was something stirring within you, and you're like, you know what, time freedom looks good, financial freedom looks good, having health freedom, to be strong, to be healthy, to inspire your family. These are the reasons you came in with this. So as much as, I am not your normal coach, you guys. Like, you can probably tell by now, as much as, yes, I want you to achieve everything that you want in Beachbody, absolutely. But I don't want that to deter you because you didn't reach a rank or you didn't reach a goal. That's not freedom. That's putting on chains and saying like, oh, I can't do this anymore because I didn't reach my goal. So boom, I'm going to walk away and I'm going to give up on that light inside of me of inspiring others. That's not freedom. And that is painful to watch. And so when you look at it, number 1, surrender. Number 2, God, I wish I could say this till I'm blue in the face. I get it. Some days you'll be able to work 8 hours. Some days you'll be able to do 10 minutes while you hide and pretend you're pooping in the bathroom, and you still won't get privacy because you'll see the fingers under the door. I'm telling you, the only thing you have to do is be consistent. Consistent, you guys, and you've heard it, and you've heard it, and you've heard it, and hopefully this just hits you like a brick, because guys, I have been consistent and I have not been consistent. I have rocked my business and I have sat on the sidelines with my business. And I will tell you, coming back in after Summit, the only thing I've done is be consistent. Liam Alexander, no. He's got a bucket trying to take it off. It's just no. So the only thing I have absolutely been is consistent. And I know Beachbody does not guarantee having any level of success or income, but you guys, I was at a point where the boys and I were talking about income and talking about financial freedom, and what year was it? 2017. I earned $8,000 in January. I was earning $2,000 a month. I brought more money home than my husband. And it was a big deal because I brought more money home than my husband. And I was like, I'm the breadwinner. I'm the breadwinner. Yeah, like, I don't know. Yeah, I was so excited just because I was raised and I wanted to be a CEO and I wanted to, no, I don't want to compete with him, but I wanted to contribute as much, if not more. Like, that's just what was instilled within me. I grew up in a very broken home. So having financial freedom and not worrying about food was huge. That was back in 2017. Since then, let's see, we got out of the Army 2017, had Liam in 2018. That's my 4th baby. We lived in 5 houses in 2018 because we transitioned out of the Army, took temporary living, finally moved into a new place. So that was 2018. I could barely work my business, but I showed up in my posts. I showed up online, and I said, I just owned my truth. I was like, I am doing a horrible job at getting back to messages. And I put this out for the Facebook world to see it. I'm like, just understand and know what I'm going through right now. I'm here, I post in my group, and I post here, but that is all I can manage, right? Then roll into 2000. 19, I started to be consistent again. Like consistent in my inviting and this and that. And so I talked to some of you about my income progression. It was $4,000 my first few months in the business. My first full year was $18,000. My second full year was $44,000. My third full year was $64,000. And since then, and that was 2017. So since then, it was then 59, 55, and this last year was 50. And that's not because I just showed up sometimes in my business, you guys. I was as consistent gets for 3 years straight, over 3 years straight. And I got myself to a full-time income, and everyone's like, well, how many hours? I'm like, the hours didn't matter. Some days I had more, some days I had 15 minutes. And when people say, how much do I have to show up? What's my time per day? It literally doesn't matter. You have your list. You can have your highlighted list. You can have what we call the Success Club tracker. You can Google business activity tracker. All you have to do is do it. I don't care if it takes you 4 10-minute sessions. You just got to do it. And the business grows. And everyone's like, no, but tell me what else you did. Nothing. I didn't have time to do anything else. I couldn't do anything else. So I had to have consistency with my bat. I printed it out. Everyone's like, well, I like the digital copy. Great. I like the pen and paper copy. Great. Don't forget, it's your business. Who cares what everybody else is doing? That's not freedom. Freedom is not following someone else's footsteps, top to bottom. We became an entrepreneur so we could run a business the way we want to run it. Yes, we have amazing, incredible tools from Beachbody, so we don't have to actually create that avenue. Trust me, that's Mind Body Soldier, and that is a heck of a business I'm trying to grow over there because I love my women's retreats and I love everything else that comes along with it. Beachbody's easier because we don't have to create the workouts. We don't have to create the nutrition plans. We don't have to wonder if we're selling people crap. Because if you you look into our company, it's pretty freaking fantastic. Darren, Alina, Isabel, Carr, all these people, like we have scientists, they pay so much money to make sure that we are selling quality products that work, that aren't going to make people feel like crap, that aren't going to fill them with chemicals. So we have that opportunity right here. Freedom is running that business exactly how you want to run it, but being consistent. Seriously, you guys. So surrender and be consistent. Okay. Now, and I do have notes. I feel very professional with my notes, you guys. If you knew me years ago, I would just wing it, but I always did good. I always circled back, but still. Okay, so how to enjoy it. I think a lot of us struggle. Here's where we roll from freedom into freedom with guilt, right? Because we talk about time freedom. We talk about, starting to earn our financial freedom. We talk about all these freedoms about being able to work out at home and not having to drive to a gym. However, how many of you still feel guilty if you don't show up on social media every single day? Or 6 days a week? Or 5 days a week? This is a real problem, you guys. This means that we don't have freedom. This means that this little thing is controlling our lives. That's not freedom. So 2.5 years ago, when COVID hit and my boys came home from school, God laid a hard truth on my heart that I swore he was talking to the wrong person. I swore up and down he was talking to the wrong person. He was calling me to keep my kids home after they went back. I'm still getting questions about it. Did you keep them home because of COVID? And I was like, no. I didn't. Yes, my 9-year-old has asthma. Yes, he gets headaches, but we live in Florida, guys. We weren't having masks last year. I don't even think we had them the year before. We had them for a period of time and then they took the mask off. And then, we've been pretty lax about it. So no, I did not homeschool because of COVID. I homeschooled because God called me to. And as soon as he called me to, my biggest concern and worry was, what about my business? What about my business? I've worked so hard at being consistent, at showing up, at recruiting and getting these people. What about my business? It's going to fall apart. Everything. If I'm not there every day, my clients will leave me. If I'm not there every day, the coaches that I have poured blood, sweat, and tears into, not literally, but it feels like it, lots of tears, lots of hours, will leave me, God. I can't do this. And you know what I had to do? I had to be obedient. I had to listen anyways. And guess what? I really had to learn how to enjoy the freedom that came with this business. Because if I hadn't chose this business, there was no way I could have homeschooled. I couldn't have, because we live off my income now. We became accustomed to and added 2 more children, and we live off my income. It's a part of the bills. Like today, I just paid my car payment out of my bill, my Beachbody bill. I was like, oh, cool, medical bills for the boys. I love my Beachbody checks. But I was able to cover my brand new car payment that was almost $700. All the pending medical bills that I don't really like paying because they're annoying. But I was adulting, okay? And I did it all with my check from today. And I did it because, okay, I decided to show up. I decided to be obedient, and I showed up to my freedom that I had earned. I earned that freedom, guys. I earned a full-time income. I earned that residual income. I earned the loyalty from my clients and my customers. And when I said this is what I have to do, and I wasn't great about vocalizing it because I really thought I was going to still do both all the time, and I definitely could have been better. But when I actually was like, guys, I just can't. Like, I'm drowning. There are some of my coaches that are like, I mean, amazing. Bobby Joe's here, Shell's here, Nancy. They're like, I get it. We'll see you when you get back. Literally, Bobby Joe signed up, and she was like, I was like, I don't know, I just can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing. I got nothing left. And she was like, it's okay. I love you anyways. Okay. And she was the best. I mean, always checking on me. Shell decided to come right back into the business. I mean, her and I have been going back and forth for years. She decided to come in full-fledged when I was going out, and I'm like, like I'm leaving all these people and I'm going to lose them. You know what, guys? The freedom is knowing what you're called to when you're called to it. The freedom is saying, I love what I do, but guess what? My family comes first. That's why I started this business, a big push so that I could be home when I want to, so I can go on or field trips when I want to, so I can travel when I want to with my family. So how are we enjoying the freedom? We're not. We're letting guilt plague us, and guilt comes from Satan. Whether you believe in Satan or not, look at the world. There's a darkness. I don't care what you want to call it. There is a darkness, and it is lurking at every corner trying to swallow us up. Guilt, shame, embarrassment, someone making a nasty comment when you've had a bad day and they're commenting on your physical fitness or how their nutrition program is better than yours and this and that. It's like, can we just have a spirit of gratitude and abundance? Can we just do that instead? No, they will not do that, because on your bad day, the darkness, Satan, the enemy, the devil, whatever you want to call it, knows you're having a bad day because he runs the world. He lives in the world, and he's going to drown you. And that's not freedom. Freedom comes with light and love and joy and patience and kindness and self-control and goodness. That's freedom, you guys. And so for God, the first year I homeschooled, I didn't enjoy my freedom. I was drowning. I was constantly stressed. It got to a point where last summer at the beginning of it, I got on anxiety meds because I couldn't function anymore, because I was trying to be everything to everybody and didn't understand that I had earned that freedom. I owed nothing to nobody except for my kids and my family, because that was being obedient. Yes, I said yes. Yes, I homeschooled. Yes, I did what I needed to do, but I did not enjoy it. The first year and a half, I loved being with them, but it was like this, like, not even the devil and angel, because it wasn't so much that. It was like something was sitting inside of me telling me, look what you've done. Look at the coaches you're letting down. Look at the clients you're letting down. Look at the people that you could have signed up. Look at that person. They didn't homeschool their kids when COVID hit, and look how far they've gone in their business. Look at that. Oh, look, they have financial freedom now. Do you? I'm like, no, I watched my checks slowly dwindle week after week after week. And every week it came in and it was smaller. I felt more guilt because that was money that we needed to take care of our family. And when I came to Summit, I shit you not, sorry, not supposed to swear. Anyways, when I came to Summit, and I said it last week, guys, I was there to decide to listen to the Lord, to spend time with him, to see, do I have to quit? My kids are going back to school because he told me to send them back. And I thought he was lying about that, because now we got in a groove and now it was good. And I was doing all this stuff this whole past year. And God was like, no, you got to send them back. I'm like, seriously? Like, is my life a game? Like, is someone up there just like laughing? Like, let's see how she'll handle this one. And I've been freaking out about the decision when I made it at the beginning of the year. But guess what? 3 out of 4 went back yesterday. 3 out of 4 came home skipping, jumping, happy, excited. And I was like, God, you were right. Like shocked. Come on. Like they are literally right. I listened and I was obedient. And I'm not even joking. I've cried so many tears. I've laughed. You know, when you can't cry anymore and you're like, ha, it's like an ugly thing that happens. Yeah. So that's been me for weeks leading up to this. And then I prayed over their teachers and everything else. And literally their teachers are amazing. I mean, they're so good. I talked to all of them. They're so good, guys. And so let that guilt be for someone else. And I hate to say that, but it's never going to go away. The guilt is never going to go away. But do not be guilted into opening up your phone and answering messages when it's family pizza dinner night. Do not be guilted into, you know what, my kid's sick? I should check messages. And I've done it. And there's still times when I will do it because I have 4 kids. So it's going to take a month to get through everybody. However, on the first day they're sick, be with them. After that, you can hug them and check your messages. Just find your core alignment. Again, I'm not a fan of the word balance because I think balance sucks. Balance just puts everything on you, and you're supposed to figure it out without teetering and crashing and burning. Find your core alignment because when you're aligned, you're strong. When you're aligned, you're strong. So if any of you do yoga, you know that alignment is key. If you are out of alignment, it is like almost immediate injury. It's the craziest thing. You can do lifting for months and months. You can do high intensive cardio and your knees might be a little bit sore. But if you are you're slowing down and you're working on your alignment, if you're not aligning, I mean, seriously guys, your pelvic, your core, like I was doing stand-up paddleboard the other day and I was able to do, almost do tree pose. I wanted to do king dancer. So it literally is like, whoa, on one foot on a paddleboard on the water. And even the instructor was like, how are you even getting on one foot? And I'm like, I just listened to what you guys taught me in class. You plant the foot, you spread the toes, you get the ball of the foot, then you plant the heel, and then you come up. And when you're looking at your leg, you have a micro bend in your knee. You straighten it out, but don't flex it because that will hurt your knee. You're not in proper alignment. Micro bend in your knee, come up, then you tuck the core. And I'm explaining this. She's like, oh my God. I was like, no, I'm not a yoga teacher, not yet. One day, yes. However, it's a damn good visual to base your life off of. If you're doing the scales, I hate the scales, and you're putting one thing on, then you got to put it over here. You got to put it over here. You got to put it over here. No, balance is not for us because we are not normal. We are entrepreneurs. We are doing this for freedom, and guilt is a lie. It's a lie. So we need to get rid of it. So I want you guys, go ahead and type in the chat. I actually have to get to the chat because I don't know how I did what I did. Type in the chat. Why did you join? What was the number? And don't be shy. If it's financial freedom, you guys know I joined. Number 1 reason why you joined. Financial freedom was for me. Okay, Lauren, financial. You can come sit. Okay, guilt's a useless emotion. Oh yes, I love that. I love that. Number 1, love that, BB, to help others. Self-liberation, yes. And time, yep, absolutely, needed to change. I love these. Seriously, you guys. Yeah, because I wanted to help others and loved having something that was mine. Yes, Gina. I love it. Financial, helping people with their health, time, location, and financial freedom with a purpose. Yes, Becky. Tie between wanting to replace my gym training job and financial. Yes, to stay consistent with my own journey. Needed a reason to get out of bed, a new purpose. Now I want to contribute financially. Guys, do you realize how huge these are? These are not things that I feel like grown adults think of anymore. These are dreams of children. When we're little, we think of our lives and we have these dreams, and then society squashes them. Maybe your parents, I don't know. I mean, and I hate to say that, but maybe your parents, maybe your aunts, your uncles, your peers. And I hate to say that because I love my family. However, that job's not realistic. I wanted to be an astronaut. Okay? I wanted to be an astronaut, and then I wanted to be in the army, and then I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be all 3. No, you can't do that. Why not? Why not? Well, because that's not going to work. You're going to need to go to too much school. You don't have enough money. It's like, oh, okay, all right. So I did none of those things. But now I was a homeschool mom. I started my own company, Mind Body Soldier. I've been a Beachbody coach for 8 years. I'm a military wife. I run the house. I do all the bills. I take care of the vets with my 2 dogs. I take care of my favorite creature in the house, my fish, QB2, because he does not bother me ever for anything. And every time I walk by, he's going like this. He's always thanking me for something. He's my favorite, besides you. You're my favorite creature. But guys, we did not join to feel guilt. We did not join to be tied down to something 24/7, and that we did not join to live in a life of comparison where we look at another coach that started at the same time as us. Trust me, a lot of my coaches or a lot of my friends that I love started at the same time as me, and they are way beyond in their rank and in their financial. And you know what, guys? That's okay. It's okay. I don't want to feel jealousy or comparison. I want to lift them up and praise them for the job that they've done. And then I want to lift myself up and praise me for following what I was called to, which was to be home with my boys for the last 2.5 years. Yes, Beachbody had a surge. Yes, my income could have gone up. It's not about that. What's our legacy? What are people going to say about us when we die? Are they going to say they were so busy, they were always on their phone? What's our family going to say? Like, seriously, what are they going to say? I don't ever want my kids to say my mom was always on her phone. And they used to. Can you just put that down? It was awful. Awful. And then there are times when I draw the line in the sand and tell them, Mom's working. Dad gets to go to an office, and one day I'm going to rent an office just to go there. Like, Dad gets to go to an office every day. Mom gets to stay home, but I need to work. And I mean, even him, I warned him. He's 4 years old. I let him know. I said, hey, I have a call. I have a work call. It's very important. You can watch your show. You can eat your pretzels. If you come in, you are going to be quiet. Granted, he's 4. Did he listen at 3? No. 2? No. 1? No. 0? No. However, I still explained it at 3, 2, 1, and 0. Mommy's got a call, rocking a newborn, like, hey, breastfeeding, mommy's got a call. Like, it's just, this is my business, and I tell and I explain to them why it's important to me. Don't forget to explain to the people in your life why it's important to you. That will give you even more freedom. Freedom to work your business when it is time to work your business. Because if you don't tell them what your dreams and your goals are, and you don't tell them why it's so important to you, they won't support you. My husband was the least supportive human ever. Until, guess what? I started making more money than him. And he's like, oh, that's weird. I'm like, I love you so much. No, I get up early and stay up late just to be on Facebook. I'm like, no, I don't. I know a lot of people do, but I want to be present. I do it because I want to build relationships with people, because people are important. And I want to pour into them, and I want to ask them how I can pray for them, how I can love on them, how I can lift them up. If they don't need a challenge pack, I don't care. I had a person I reached out to the other day just to say happy birthday, like, how can I pray for you? And she asked me for prayers, and I said, awesome. And she said, I love watching you daily. You're so inspirational. And I go to the gym because of it. I said, that's great. Have you considered Beachbody? She's like, I really need to be at the gym. It's my only alone time. I said, awesome. I'm going to put you in my fitness group. I was like, that way you have your gym, you do your thing, but you'll have accountability and you can build relationships with people who are like you. And she was like, this is the best. I was like, yeah, I don't care. Yes, it's my paid fitness group. I don't care. The money comes when you don't focus on the money. The freedom comes when you focus on being consistent, when you show up with your bat, when you focus on giving yourself the freedom and the time to enjoy it. The freedom comes when you don't burn my stuff. So, okay. So that is my spiel. Let me just make sure, I got all my stuff in. Okay, a couple of books that I do want to recommend. I know we're doing The Big Leap. Gotcha. Okay, so I know we're doing The Big Leap. However, if the things that I was talking about were like hitting hard for you and you read more than one book at once, because I read like 19, thank you ADHD, The Magic of Surrender by Coop Blackson. Oh my gosh. You want to learn how to surrender? This is a really good starting point. He sent this to me last year or the year before, because I was one of his followers and I read one of his first books. I don't know. He sends me his books. Amazing. Magic of Surrender by Coop Blackson. This is my baby. This is what one day I will give a keynote speaker spiel on, and I'm running my Align Tribe on. Unlock Your Dream. So, Discovering the Adventure You Were Created For by Philip Wagner. Okay? These are not business pushing books. However, can you help me? Can you hold this? Thank you. That's so good. Hold it right there. Yep, a little bit in the screen. So these will help you with your personal strongholds, with things that you just chains that you feel like you can't break through, things like the guilt. These will help you with the guilt, because we have lists and lists and lists of amazing, magical personal development books for our business. However, if we can't get over our strongholds, we can't even take action. So if you can't take action, like, what are you doing? You're not working on the things that are holding you back. And therefore, you're never going to love your freedom. Guilt is always going to drag you down. Fear is going to drag you down. Yes, if you can get it down without hurting yourself.
I already did put it down.
Okay, go ahead. He's been asking all day to play on the iPad, and I was like, no. But he made it this long, so... Because I like to. He is the sassiest. I didn't realize how sassy he was until his brothers went to school yesterday. And the stuff he says, he's like, I'm not going to do it because you are a stinker. I was like, I'm your mother. Like, who are you talking to? But he has no one to be really fresh to. So I got to work on that, you guys. Homeschooling was great for us. No, seriously, it was. Okay. So does anybody have any questions? Anything that I talked about? Anything that they want to share? Lisa, unmuted.
Yeah, I was working on my invite list and kind of got over myself a bit and just, sent some invites and had a couple of good conversations. And I remember, I think it was in the last team call, they talked about go for no.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, with that mindset, I was like, hey, let's see how many no's I can get. And I actually got one person that was like, hey, like not right now. And I was like, well, can I send you a couple of options? That way you can look into them and see if anything, might be of interest. And she's like, yeah, sure. Send me some links. So I was like, okay, went for no, got a maybe later. And then another girl I talked to said, oh, I looked into it, but I can't really afford it right now. So then I was like, okay, well, there is a 14-day free trial, just so you know. So with that mindset, I didn't feel that sense of failure because I was like going for no. So it's like anything, other than that, I feel like is a victory in a way.
Heck yeah. I love that. And that's the thing, once you don't care, I mean, I get told no all the time. Like, all the time. Like, hey, I get told, like, by him. Like, why does it not affect me when my kid tells me no, but someone else? I'm like, I should be used to no. So I love that, Lisa. Yes, just go for no, and then anything in between. Nope, you can do it. Anything in between is still great. So I love the way you handle that. So, oh, yeah, Bobby Joe. She said you could send him a free sample workout. That's another way. Like, hey, just try this. Does anybody have anything else that they want to shout out? Tell me something good. There's got to be something good. I know each of you has something good. Shout.
Hey, Jack. I challenged Colleen to hop on here and real quick tell us what she's doing that's getting all the sneakers and rocking girls in Lift More. I want to know.
Yes, Colleen.
Thanks for putting me on the spot. I don't know. I wish, but when I first jumped on and I said like preach Jack, it's because I don't think I'm doing anything crazy. I'm finally doing what I really feel like I was meant to do. A few years ago when COVID first started, thank you, Gina. When COVID first started, I came up with like daily spirit days, and I made TikToks that I would then share on social media and like tag some of my students. For reference, I primarily taught seniors in high school, so it wasn't like, anyway, I didn't feel like it was super inappropriate, and I did it as a way to stay connected with them. And because we had so much negativity going on, I needed some like some joy. And for those of you that know me, know I'm not shy. I like being silly and all of those things. And so there's always been this part of me that really enjoys connecting with people. And because I've worked through and continue to work through my trauma and my stuff, I'm able to show up like really, truly, fearlessly authentic as myself. And so now that Beachbody is a part of that and giving me the freedom, like I said earlier in the chat, and I started crying during part of your talk today, Jack, because I was so full of joy this Tuesday. I got to go to the parent back to school night. And that sounds like a chore to a lot of people probably, but I got to show up. I had my shaker cup with my Energize in it. I was listening to Evie's teacher talk and I was getting so excited. I got a bunch of things off her wish list. And then because I'm a teacher, I asked her, hey, so you said you wanted some black felt. What size can I pre-cut those pieces into? And you would have thought that I was like the second coming of Jesus. She like bowed to me like I was some kind of queen. And I got in the car to go home and I was so happy because a year ago, I didn't get to be that mom. And so when I said yes to coaching, initially it was just to like get the discount and start dancing with Sean T because he's my first gym boo. And now what I've realized is like everything in my life has led me to this point. And so now I'm bridging like my passion for like liberating myself. It's selfish and selfless, but I am more liberated today than I've been in my entire life. Going to Summit, getting to meet people in person, and honestly seeing the way Beachbody does what Beachbody does, like the shit's real. It's not made up. It's not a scheme. It's like legit so many people that are wired similarly that want to have massive impact on other people and give them the freedom to claim it for themselves too. So that's a roundabout way of saying I just finally started doing all the things that everybody every week on these calls tells us to do. And I did it with my style and enthusiasm. And so the people that already knew me in life before they saw me get on the Beachbody train, like, they get it, you know? And I'll share real quick. A few days ago, I posted a reel using somebody's like voiceover audio, and it's like a motivational kind of talk. And I did like a, I don't know, not a slideshow, but it's like a progression, right? I showed what I looked like, super freaking pregnant with Georgia, who by the way broke my pelvis when she was born. And then it shows you the progression, up until where I was when I got my hair done like a week ago. And I've been watching it and I'll post pictures in our group. It's had I'm almost at 9,000 views. And and there's nothing special, but like, let's be honest, I put a couple like really vulnerable pictures up there and like, I'm honest in the caption. So I guess the best thing I could say to everybody is spend some time, give yourself the time to think about what made you say yes, and then how that has evolved for you, whether you've been coaching a week, a month, a year, 10 years. Think about where you're at now, and if you're not showing up authentically as yourself, that is the number one thing that you could do today that's going to have the most like massive impact on what you're wanting to do for yourself. That's it.
I love it. And that's exactly it. And you know what's really cool is when you're showing up as yourself on social media, when you meet people or, you meet them one time, you add them on Facebook, because that's what I do. I'm like, hey, we're on Facebook friends, yes. And then you see them again and they're like, you are exactly what I thought you were going to be. And actually in person, like you're the same exact thing. Like when I read your posts, it's like we're talking. Like you're talking to me, we're in conversation. And that's what you want. So when you guys are overthinking it, like, oh, am I grammatically correct? Or is this how I write? Or think about how you talk. How can you be the most authentic version of you? And if it's really hard for you to not follow IEW, Andrew Pudwa's like writings and all that good stuff, it's really hard for you. Just think about, guess what? I don't want to read an essay every time I go onto Facebook. I have to read essays that my kids write, and I have to read articles when I am reading the news, and I have to read, and I don't read the news. My husband sends them to me, and I'm like, give me the what is it called? That short version, Cliff Notes. I'm like, give me the Cliff Notes. I don't want to read this. It's not fun. It's not making me feel joy. So really focus on that. And Colleen, I think that is amazing. And actually, I do think you should have you done a training on Reels? That's what I want. That's what I want. Is a training on Reels. So we're going to have to, who would be in for that? Like seriously, yeah, maybe no, because I'll go back and say, hey, we have some topics. Okay, cool. because I think we could utilize this time too for just some different trainings and tips and tricks. Because for me, I'm like, that's too much time, but I'm here anyway, so I'd like to learn that. Awesome, Colleen. Then you just stay tuned for a little message. We'll get you on the dates for leadership. Great. I love that. Okay, any other wins that anyone wants to share? Anything? Anybody's kids go back to school? Chelsea?
Yes, I just wanted to say I heard something on a call that I was on. I don't remember who was speaking a while ago, but she talked about how she used to take like forever to talk on her stories because she would mess up. So she would stop, redo it like 100 times, and then she would just be tired and be like, I'm not doing this. And I used to do that. So she said that she gave herself like a one take shot. Like if she messed up, it is what it is. She's like, I mess up. I like stutter in person. Like it is what it is. It can't be perfect. And I started doing that. And I'm like, well, I don't care if I mess up, if the dog barks, if the kid screams, that's my life. And it's just helped me step into being like so much more authentic because I felt like I had to be like this perfect social media mom and like this perfect like coach and like be perfectly put together all of the time. And as soon as I dove into like turning my mess into my message and like really just this is life and this is what it is, everything just started to change for me. So if you struggle talking in your stories like I did, give yourself a one shot take. Don't listen back to it. Just do it and go.
I will say that is the number one compliment I get in messages from people is you're just you. Like you're just like we're friends. I've never met you in my life, but we are friends. And I'm like, yeah, we are friends. I consider you a friend. Why wouldn't you be my friend? This is weird. This is awkward. Like, and so I can't stress that enough. And it's really really freeing. On the topic of freedom, it's really freeing to just say, my kid is screaming, I'll message you back. Like if I'm in the middle of explaining a challenge pack, because I love voice messages, side tip, please try to keep it under a minute, because when someone sends me 15 1 minutes, and I know Facebook used to cut us off at 1 minute, now we can go on forever. I can't find 3 minutes to listen to your audio. I just can't. And I don't know why, because it's really not a lot of time, but my anxiety's like, I'm never going to listen to that. So just as a little tip from a coach, try to get whatever you're saying in like a 30-minute or a 1 minute. Hey, but people love hearing your voice because they can feel your connection. And that's really amazing. And if I have to say, okay, my kid's screaming, hold on, I'll be back. I've done that so many times where my dog just escaped. I'm like, oh, shoot, hi, it's me. It's okay, I got my dog. And you're like, this is really funny. It's like a comedy show. I'm like, it's actually just my life. But yeah, sure, it's a comedy show. Thanks. I'm glad you're getting a kick out of it. So I love it. I get all stressed and I forget. Half of it takes me. Yes, seriously, Shell. Okay. Let's do any more big shout outs? Any more big shout outs? BB, I feel like you're flexing that paper at me. What do you got? You're over there flexing the paper. Nothing at all. Okay. All right, Kim. Nothing good. I mean, something, anything. You can put it in the chat too, guys. If you don't want to unmute because you're like, she's recording me, because I am recording you. Yes, Kim. Let's go.
Well, this is the first month I've hit like Success Club 6 in my account and like Success Club 2 on my husband's account by the 5th. And so like I'm still like trying to ride on it and just like keep it rolling. But it's so like whenever you have a new challenge group going and like nobody's like participating, it's like, okay, no worries, I'm showing up. Like I'm like embrace the chaos. And even if I'm just showing up, that's leading by example. So
I will say that's freaking amazing. Because then you're like, yes, I don't have to worry about it now just to get SC in your husband's account, right? Is that a goal? Yes. Fabulous. And then I just started this month because my challenge group has like 800 and some people. And again, this is years old, you guys. I just keep the same one and I restart a challenge. I started doing like what am I trying to say? A monthly challenge. There we go. So you add up all your points for the month, but it's a nightly check-in. It's a poll. And then we add them all up. So the most points you can get is 5 points a day. But every single day, there's a graphic that goes out with the point totals. And then each week it resets back to 0, but you don't lose your points. It just resets back to 0. So you're not seeing someone's at like 75 and you're like, hi, I'm at 3. Like it's really actually been so cool. And we went from I had like my name on there and 2 other people, to now there's like 10 people. And they're like, well, I'm not doing Lift More. I'm like, I really don't care. go do your check-in. And like, okay, cool, I can win. And so the whole thing is there's gonna be a prize. I didn't even announce the prize because I don't know what I'm gonna do for the prize. But the top 3 people are gonna get a prize. And again, I don't know what it is, but everyone's really excited. I'm like, so who knew a graphic with your name on it, just like us when we get Success Club or Volume Club. It just makes you feel good that someone's recognizing your hard work. That's a really cool thing to try maybe for September or whatever and be like, hey, we're switching up. Or even August 15th, say, hey, Monday we're starting this because there's not a lot of participation and I want to build relationships. I never wait till the next month. I just start. So maybe just a suggestion. Let's see.
Where do you make that graphic? And I second what B said. Can you put it in the group?
Yes, I can.
You make it on Canva or like where do you?
Yeah, literally Canva. And the check-in is like your Shakeology. Oh, they have to post on their page and tag me to get that point. I know. I'm like, this is so genius. And honestly, it's just like, and people are nervous, but it's really funny because then I'm already seeing who's has the confidence to be a coach because they're posting and they're tagging me. It's like this whole system of amazing confidence building for people and boosting them up. So yes, Canva, super easy. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's my big secret because they want that extra point, and Lisa's killing it. Whereas Lisa's top notch so they're competing with Lisa, and so she's getting all her points, all her check-ins. They have to drink their Shakeology. They have to do their workout, drink half their body weight in water. They have to say a positive affirmation about themselves, and then they have to post on their page and tag me. And I don't care what they're doing for their workout, but I do care if it's Shakeology because if you're doing all the things, you deserve that point for your Shakeology. And again, I have not even decided on the prizes. The prizes don't matter. People just like to feel like somebody cares that I'm doing something that I said I was going to do. Okay, let me go up and see. Did I miss any? Point system.
Question on that, Jack.
Yeah.
Did you do something that you feel like helped them want to participate? Because I feel like I've done that before and it's been crickets and it's been like me and the other coaches participating, but not other people.
I have great ideas and I implement them right away without a lot of proper planning or knowing what's going on, hence not knowing what the prizes are. I literally just said, hey, we're starting this tomorrow. And people were like, oh, okay. Well, what's it going to look like? I don't know. You'll see it tomorrow. Look for the poll. Okay. I'm like, look for the poll. So there's a nightly poll and you can schedule all that out. All you really have to do is check the poll to see who checked in and then add up the points. And so it's 7 days a week. And I mean, I have so many great business ideas, you guys, if I only had the time to implement them all. Okay. Same ones. Lift more. Mariah. I missed. What happened with Mariah? I'm scrolling all the way up. Diamond decision on Friday. Yes, Mariah. That's freaking amazing. 10xing your business. I love it. I love it. I love it. Cassie feeling so much more confident as a mentor after summit, which Cassie has always been an incredible mentor, always. But I'm glad that you're feeling the confidence because that's huge. It's about what's within. Showing up for my challenges, my coaches, go for it, taking action, not allowing the baby coming to be an excuse, but a reason for building the business. Yes. And if you just keep plugging away until that baby comes, I would say, and I don't know if you did this on your last one, but I literally would put this out. Speaking of freedom, I wish I did this. Hey, I'm on 1 month maternity leave once this baby comes. I'm not going to be checking my messages. And really, it depends on what you want to do. It could be a week or whatever, but like to put it out on my page, 1 second, please. To put it out on my page and put it in my groups, it just gave me that reprieve. And if I was at that time running challenge groups with my coaches and I just said, hey, can you guys really make sure you're showing up for them? Because I'm not going to be checking my phone. And they did, asking them to help and actually saying I need help because we all do. They checked in. They loved on the people. This is crazy. They were even having some of my potential clients who couldn't get a hold of me. They were getting a hold of me for my potential clients and saying, Jack, just give me your login. I'll send them a link. Because they knew that I just had a baby. I had spent a lot of time connecting and loving on them. And I just asked for that help. So that was really, really helpful. And I know you probably already have a system because you're amazing. But it was just great. Okay, let's see. Feels so confident. Yes, yes, yes. Seriously, I love it. Lisa's strong confidence. And she signed up to be a coach. And it's been life-changing. Yes. Freedom. I've created hired 2 assistants. Fabulous. And I will say, I hired an assistant thanks to Cassie. And so he's the person that's doing my graphic. That's all he's literally doing right now because I don't know what I need except for that graphic in my challenge group. And I don't care. It's the best $8 I spend per hour. I was like, here, take it. Like, take my money. I don't know. Just do it because I always was too prideful to hire an assistant. And let me tell you, fabulous. So thank you, Cassie, for that. Yes. Okay. Where's Shell? Okay, let's do our photo. Shell, do you have the plant like last time? Because Shell had a great background. I had to text her. I was like, your lighting and your plant in the background is phenomenal for our photo.
It's so funny because I just moved it directly behind my laptop because I knew this was coming.
You knew it. Yes, you knew. I'm not joking. After the last one, I messaged her. I was like, you paid attention to all the things I've taught you over all of these years about pictures and editing
and white space and light.
White space. She did everything. It was just like, I was a really proud coach moment. All right, let's do it. Everybody, you can
Can anybody get on? Cassie, Mariah, Erica, can you guys show faces? We'll wait a second if you can. If not, it's no big deal. Oh, Cassie.
Yay! Oh, you guys are so pretty. I love seeing everyone's faces. All right, go ahead, Shell. Yes, Erica's on.
Yay! Okay, hopefully that was good.
Awesome. I can totally do a training on that. Yeah, let me write down those training topics real quick. So, reels, lighting, and pics. And is there anything else? You guys want to see the graphic, right? I'll show you too. Lift was Canva, nothing fancy because that's what he uses, and point system. Do you want to see the poll? I'll just make sure I put it all on the bottom of this once I post it. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for allowing me to come and speak. It's really honestly such a blessing, and it's just amazing seeing all your faces. So thank you for coming. Love you guys. Have a great week and weekend, and let's crush it. Bye, guys.